welcome to this look at new equipment in the Alpine Farming Expansion DLC on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. It's later in the day, November the 12th, the Alpine Farming Expansion DLC released this morning. I've done a map tour, I've done a mod review of the vehicles. Now I'm looking at the machinery and equipment in this pack. Now, a lot of this machinery we have in game already. We have mowers, tedders, windrowers, that kind of thing. When Giants did their Twitch stream and they had Stefan Ackermann on from Pottinger, the Director of Product Management, he was talking about Alpine technology, and it's kind of where Pottinger started out, but we have got some Pottinger, some equipment, some SIP, some SIPP equipment, and BÖCKMANN. The BÖCKMANN trailer is directly in front of me, and it's about smaller machinery that has a better centre of gravity on the vehicle, and machinery, newer evolutions of machinery that we have already got in game, and also the ability to hug the ground, that ability to move with the landscape. When you're doing alpine farming and it's hilly and bumpy and that kind of thing, it's an absolute given that you need that sort of machinery. So that's kind of what it's all about in this pack. What I'm going to do is start off now. I already looked at the mower itself here in the vehicles, but this is the BÖCKMANN trailer, which is, I say, it's a BÖCKMANN trailer. It's not specifically designed for this mower, but in this pack that's what it's for. It's the MHAL 432035. It will use 5 slots. Very nicely detailed. One thing I'm noticing, because I thought about what I might do moving forward, is use this map as my test map. But I'm finding the lighting is very odd. It's incredibly high in the sky, and every time I'm trying to get pictures and thumbnails, it seems to be a lot of shadow. Not really dark, but I don't know, it just seems a little bit of an odd one. Anyway, regardless of that, so you'll find this under tools, under miscellaneous. There you go, right at the very end. 6,000 to buy, and like I say, 5 slots. There are no options available. You get what you get. And the thing with this as well is, if I start up, well, I don't need the tractor started up actually. I'll open up the help menu. I can L1 and right stick side to side. I can open up the side panels. So if I wanted to put anything else on it, because it does have tension belts, I can put pallets and bales and all sorts of things on it. I really do like this as a trailer. But what we've also got is the ability to unfold the trailer, which does that. So for things like the mower, it makes life a lot easier for getting them on and off. So if I undo the straps, like so, grab the mower, like so. That's nice. Nice bit of kit. What I'm going to do is try to go through as quickly as possible. There's a lot of stuff. What I'm also going to do is do it in sections, working through in the order of operation in theory. So bear with me just a minute. So starting out on the field, I'm going to start with ploughing, cultivating, seeding. We have got the Pottinger Servo 25 plough, 3 slots on console. It's only a 1.2 or 1.3 metre plough, but does exactly what a plough should. You'll find this under tools, under ploughs. There you go, the Pottinger Servo 25, 14,000 by 1.2 metre, 3 slots, 85 horsepower required to pull it. There are no options available. You get what you get. It ploughs as you would expect it to. And then when you get to the end of the row and you turn around, you can lift it, you can turn the plough, and then come back down the other side. Very nice bit of kit. So there you go, that's the Pottinger Servo 25. That's the first one we're going to be looking at. You have got the ability to create fields as well with this, as you do with most ploughs now. If I do L1 and triangle, that will give me the ability, if I want to create my own field. If I drop that down now, I can extend or create fields if I want to. So there you go, that's the first of them. So that's the ploughing phase. Next up we've got cultivating. So in this pack we've got a cultivator and we've got a disc harrow, not a disc harrow, yes, a cultivator and a disc harrow, and then we've also then got a seeder. So we have got the Pottinger SYNKRO 3020. This is 3 slots. Again, very nicely detailed. I think it's a given with this pack that the stuff is very nicely made, faithfully created to the Pottinger models and brand. Next to it, we'll actually have a look at this at the same time as well. We've got the Pottinger TERRADISC 3001 disc harrow. So it does the same job, both cultivate. That one does it with the tines and kind of blades, and this one with the discs, and then the conditioning sections on the back for flattening everything out, getting rid of clumps and lumps and those kinds of things. So this one is 6 slots, that one is 3. What we'll do, I mean, you've probably seen cultivators used before, it won't be a surprise, but in the interest of checking these things out, we do have lights, indicators, nice animation, does what it should do. And we'll have a look at the disc harrow as well, and then we'll look at both of them in store. I'm just very conscious of how much stuff we've got to get through. So, unfold the cultivator, puts the extra bits out on the side, drop it down. And away we go. Fold it back up. Very nice indeed. Let's drop that. No, I'm going to drop that. There we go. So, these you'll find the first one under cultivators. There you go, the SYNKRO 3020, 3 metre width, requires 90 horsepower to run, will run at 9 miles per hour. And then the disc harrows, we've got the TERRADISC 3001. I didn't say the price of that one. 16,000 to buy, 95 horsepower required, will run at 10 miles per hour. Also 3 metres wide. So the 3 metre cultivator aficionados are going to be over the moon today. Now, as I'm recording this, I didn't think, because the DLC was dropping today, that there'd be any mods released today. Oh no, I checked the mods hub about 10 minutes ago, and blimey, I don't know how I'm going to get it all done. I might have to do the mod review tomorrow, but anyway, we have got the Pottinger Lion 303 plus AEROSEM 3002. Now I'm technically hooking up to that one first. I don't think I can. I didn't think I could release that, because you buy it together as a pack. It sort of comes together. I'm glad I checked that. So you've got the Pottinger Lion 303, which is a power harrow. It's powered off the PTO with a kind of flattened cultivator roller on behind that. And then you've got the AEROSEM 3002, which is the seeder portion. Generally speaking, both run together, because if you look at that, there's no 3-point link on the AEROSEM there, so it has to be kind of hooked up. But you could run this power harrow on its own if you wanted to. You don't necessarily have to have that hooked up. What we'll do is hook it back together. Now, if we open it up, that opens the cover. 1,250 litre tank on this. It's only one slot, which I find surprising, because it's a power harrow and a seeder. But that's what the mod hub said when I went to collect it. This you'll find under seeders. There you go. The Line 303 plus AEROSEM 3002, 40 grand to buy. It will do your main crop types, it will do grass, and it will do oilseed radish cover crop. Also 3 metres wide, requires 165 horsepower to run, which I don't think I have. When we come to get it, there are no options available. It runs at 9 miles per hour. That actually says 220 horsepower. That's interesting. That says 165. That says 220. I definitely haven't got enough. I wonder if it will let me actually seed with it. Now this also is a direct drill. Although I have got ploughed and cultivated field, if your field has just been harvested, you could come on with this and you could just crack on, because it's got the power harrow on the front. There's no need to actually plough or cultivate first. So let's turn that on, turn that on. We've already dropped down. Well, it is pulling it. It's a little bit too small to be pulling it. There we go. We are power harrowing and planting at the same time. So there you go. That's the Pottinger Lion 303 and AEROSEM 3002. Very nice. Let's lift that up. Turn that off. Turn that off. Let's head back. Right, so that's ground preparation. Ploughing, cultivating, seeding. Let's drop that down, turn that off. What I'm going to look at next is going to be the mowing side of things, which is the next thing we've got. So we've got mowing first, and then we'll have a look at the tedding. We've then got windrowing, we've got baling, and we've got loading wagons. So we've got a lot to get through. Although what I will say is, the mower side of things, at the end of the day, mowers mow. I'll show you one set of the mowers mowing, but we do have 3 sets of mowers in this pack, and I'll show you one set actually in operation. So, up first we have got the SEPP KNÜSEL F240 mower, which is this small one on the end here, as you can see. That's 2 slots. Then next to it we've got the Pottinger NOVAALPIN 261. That's 6 slots. That's a 2.6 metre. That's, I want to say, a 2. And then on the end here we have got the Pottinger NOVACAT 301 Alpha Motion Master, I think this one is, which is the slightly more advanced version to the standard 301 Alpha. Better ground hugging technology, plus the attachments for these. Again, Stefan Ackermann, when he was talking about it, these bring this mower and the rear mower much closer to the tractor, which makes everything more stable, more kind of solid, and does what it should do. And then on the back here, or this one here for the back, we've got the NOVADISC, the Pottinger NOVADISC 812 mower Butterfly. What I like about this as well is when you drop it down to put it on the floor, this doesn't sit on very high. Sometimes they're very high legs, they have a tendency to topple over. This sits very low to the ground, the connections on this. But again, nice design. This is also designed to follow the ground on hilly terrain and those kind of things. So those are the mowers we have available. You will find them under mowers, surprisingly. So the SEPP KNÜSEL F240, 12,000 to buy, only requires 40 horsepower, is a 2.4 metre, not 2, will run at 12 miles per hour. There are no options available, you get what you get. The Pottinger NOVAALPIN 261 is also 12,000, requires 45 horsepower and is 2.6 metres. Again, no options, you get what you get. Then we've got the NOVACAT 301 Alpha Motion, 16,000, 3.1 metres, only requires 60 horsepower and run at 13 miles per hour. And then we've got the NOVADISC 812, which is 8.1 metres, 28,500 to buy, requires 90 horsepower and will run at 13 miles per hour. Again, no options on that one. So quite a few extra bits of machinery in this pack. Bear with me a second while I go and grab a tractor. So what I will say again though is apology, I'm not going to show each one. It's that damned if you do, damned if you don't. once you get the mower, if you unfold the mower, and it's the same for each of these, they unfold, then the front one, turn it on, blades are moving underneath, which each of the front mowers will do, one at 2.4 metres, one at 2.6 and one at 3.1. Then with the rear mower, open it up, nice smooth animation, but you can see how tight up to the tractor both of these are. Again, turn it on. We'll drop the front one down first. And away we go. And these really do stick to the ground incredibly well. Now obviously I've got a very flat piece of ground here for doing the test on, but over rough terrain and bumpy terrain they work incredibly well. So that's the mowing side of things. This one, the front mower is 7 slots. Did I say that one? The front one is 7 slots, and the rear double mower, surprisingly, the butterfly, is only 5. I'm going to mow a little bit more, just because I'm going to need some more for showing the next pieces of equipment, which I think we'll do tedders first, and then we'll look at windrowers. So what I'll do now is fold those up. I've mowed what I needed to. Chop off the front one. Chop off the rear one. So I mean, very solid and very stable when that drops down. No problems with that whatsoever. And we'll move on to looking at the tedders. So, 2 tedders in this pack. We've got the PÖTTINGER ALPINHIT ALPIN HIT 4.4H by PÖTTINGER. And then we've got the PÖTTINGER HIT 8.9T. This is the smaller version of the, what have we got, the 12. We'll have a look in a second. So this is the slightly smaller version. Again, it's the latest models. They raise up a little bit higher. It avoids bending and damaging of the bars, the blades, all those kind of things. The blades, the discs in rotation. These you'll find under tedders. So the ALPINHIT 4.4H is 7,000, requires 30 horsepower, 4.4 metre width, runs at 11 miles per hour. The HIT 8.9T is 23,000, 8.9 metres, only requires 60 horsepower and runs 11 miles per hour. The HIT 1214, that's the one we've already got in game. So this is the slightly, well, the smaller one and the slightly smaller of the HITs. So, because of the low horsepower requirement, I can actually use the electric tractor on both of these. Nice sounds, nice animations. They fold straight up out of the way. I'm going to actually TED with the other one. And away we go. Does the job very nicely, as a tedder should do. Very nice indeed. So there we go. That's the tether side of things. Next up, we've got the windrowers. Like I say, I apologise that I'm rattling through these. I was actually going to... I did show this actually on the vehicles review using the AEB with the smaller mower and the fact you can slide it side to side. You can do it with the other mowers as well. But anyway, yes. Windrowers. We've got a couple of SEPP mowers, windrowers, and then we've got a couple of Pottinger ones. So, if I can find my sheet with all my information on, we have got the SEPP Favorit 254, which is this one here. That's 4 slots. We have got the SYPP Air 300F Alp. That is 7 slots. We have got the Pottinger Top 342, which is 3 slots on console. And then we've got the Pottinger Top 612C windrower. See, with a couple of these, the tines and stuff are actually stored in the back. So in transport, it doesn't take up a lot of headroom. You haven't got the rest of that over the top, which is good for storage, and you know, just a clever idea again. Very nice, neat design. These you will all find under windrowers. So the Favorit 254 is 5,000, only requires 20 horsepower, 2.5 metre width, runs at 12 miles per hour. Options available: we can have the 254 or the SEPP KNÜSEL Vario. So we can have the 2 different versions of that. It depends which option you'd rather go for. The Air 300F Alp requires 100 horsepower, 3.5 metre width, 12 miles per hour it will run at. There are no options available. You can switch which side that unloads, left or right. The Top 342, 5,900, 3.4 metre width, 35 horsepower requirement, 11 miles per hour. No options available. And then the Top 612C, 18,500, 5.9 metre width, 50 horsepower requirement and 11 miles per hour too. Options available on this: we can have standard or wide tyres. Like so. So what we'll do is hook up. Now, we can turn on the windrower. We've had one of these in the mods as well, I think. Lower. But we've also got on the end, if I do my right stick, we can move that plate out, so when it's putting stuff out in, it kind of keeps it tidy, but we can take it right to there. If we bring it back, we can actually fold it right up out the way, like so. So L1 and right stick, like so. So what I'm curious, because I haven't actually tried this yet, is that's doing what it should be doing. If I put that out of the way now, what difference does that make? Oh, it throws it a lot further. So it does actually keep that pile, or that row, nice and neat. If you do it like that, it throws it a lot further out. If I put that back down again, it keeps that windrow in a much neater stack next to you. Handy. Fantastic animations. Like that. So, that's the first one. Favorit 254. We have then got the Air 300F Alp. Now this doesn't have wheels on the back of this. This is completely 3-point link mounted. But we do have the option on this. If I do R1 toggle work mode, we can do left swath or right swath on this one. So again, what we'll do, this is a front one. I was thinking, hang on a minute. That makes a bit more sense, doesn't it? Oh, well. That changes things. There we go, right. if I stop and turn it off and then do right swath, we then swap to the other side. There we go. You know what, it's funny, when I first got it, I bought it or leased it and put it out on by the store. When I went to pick it up, I thought, I wonder if that works forwards. It's designed to work forwards. Genius! Right. Next, I'm not going to show this one in operation, but I will show it unfolding. Again, I think we've had a few of these in the mods before, the top 342. But if we unfold it, it puts all the tines out, ready to go. And we turn it on, it all spins into place. They go down where they need to be, then lift up as they come around the other side. So as you can see, they're raised as they come around the back side, but down the front, they're lowered into position. There's me saying I wasn't going to show it being used. Then fold it back up again, puts the tines away, like so. And then the larger one, which I'm just going to use for a moment. Again, when we unfold this, it will take the tines on the back, put them into position, it drops it right down, puts them into position, then raise it up again, ready for a bit of movement. So 5.9 metres. It has rear steering as well, so it will steer with the vehicle, especially if you've got, like I have at the front, you've got an all-wheel steer vehicle. It will do tight turns and corners very, very well, very manoeuvrable. And so, that, I think, will do. For our windrowing. What I'm going to do now is grab the larger tractor. I hope I've got enough windrowed up to bale. We've got 2 balers. We have got the Pottinger Impress 125F Pro, which is 19 slots. That's the standard baler, which will do round bales, whatever you put through it. We've got the 125FC Pro next to it, which is the baler wrapper. That's 21 slots, so 19 slots and 21. So what we'll do is grab this first one, turn on the baler, drop down the pickup, slightly different design to what we used to seeing. It's a little bit more ergonomic, more rounded around the sides and edges. Nice looking baler actually. It's got a beacon in it, not that I can see. So we'll see when we get to a bale. This will be one that we have to unload ourselves. Don't want to get into the hay because I won't like that at all. Let's turn that off. So with this one, when you get to 4,000, it will stop, like regular round balers do. To unload, L1 and triangle, unloads the bale off the back. So if you're baling grass, or hay, or straw, you'll get your bale come out the back. Very nice indeed. Now, the Impress 125FC is a baler wrapper. Again, design a little bit different to what we're used to have seen, but this is a little bit like the Vicon fast bale as well. I like that. Again, incredibly well detailed. We've got extra options obviously on this because it wraps, so you've got foil options, which we'll have a look at in a minute. You've also got a bale turner on the back as an option. So what we'll do is hook up to this one. What you also see in the options for this baler is it says turn on automatic drop. Now, because this is a baler wrapper, if you go across, I don't think it won't do straw, or no, if it does straw or hay, it just puts it out the back. So it will do straw or hay, it will put it out the back. This one does have a beacon on it. But if you do grass, it will wrap it. So if you just want grass bales, you want a regular baler like that. Because if you put grass through a baler wrapper, it will wrap it. You can't, on console anyway, you can't turn off the wrapping option if it's grass that you're putting through. So what we'll do is we'll get a bale through first of all, if we can. Maybe I've got enough now. I don't think this has got enough horsepower actually, because now I'm turning, it doesn't like it. So as you'll see, because we're doing grass, it will automatically come out. Now, I am now going on to the next bale, which is what you want it to do, but I don't have automatic drop turned on, so that will just sit there. So if I want to unload it, I need to unload it off the back. Now, because I've got a bale turner on there as well, it will flip the bale and put it that way. If I don't have the bale turner on, it will sit on its side, which can allow it to roll, especially on steep hillsides. And another reason for this, if you're doing on these high alpine passes, you don't want that sitting on its side and rolling away. So having the bale turner on there is a very handy bit of kit. So what I'm going to do for the next one is turn on automatic drop. So L1 and left on my D-pad. So what should happen now, in theory, let's get some more grass, would be great, wouldn't it? Is hopefully, if this works right, a little bit like the fast bale. Once that's wrapped, that will automatically come off the back. I don't have to do anything with it, which makes that, I think, only the second baler on console that will do that automatically. So now that will automatically unload, drop on its side, and away we go. That is a very, very nice bit of kit. So we'll have a look at it in store. I'm just very conscious of the fact I'm going to use the grass up. I need some for the loading wagon. So, options available on these. You'll find these under baling technology. So, the Impress 125F Pro, as I said, was 19 slots, 66,000, requires 120 horsepower and will run at 12 miles per hour. There are no options available on this one, you just get the baler. The 125FC Pro, 110,500, which I don't think is bad at all. 21 slots, pretty cool. 160 horsepower requirement, runs at 12 miles per hour. But this one does have the option of changing the foil colour to black, which should change at the back, or pink, or the kind of forest green. That's how I always refer to it anyway. Then we've got the option of Trelleborg or Michelin tyres. And then wrapper design, which is on the back. At the moment it says standard, so that will put the bales off and they will just go onto their sides and potentially could roll, or we can put a bale on end turner, which will then flip them on their side for an extra £2,000, which I think is worth every penny, personally. That's my own opinion. So those are your options, those are the prices, those are the slot counts for the 2 balers. That I honestly really am taken with that. So the fast bale and that now will continually bale, wrap and keep going. Very nice indeed. Which brings me on to hopefully the last section, which is our loading wagons. I'm only going to show you one of these in operation. Again, a loading wagon is a loading wagon. They do the same job. They may be slightly different unloads, they may look slightly different. They generally speaking will have a pickup. You turn it on, drop the pickup and it will run. These ones are 3 different capacities, 3 different sizes, all from Pottinger. We have got the smaller one, oops, is the Pottinger Boss ALPIN 251. That is 10 slots. We have got the Pottinger, now this was on FS15 or 17, it might have been 15. The EUROBOSS 330T, that's 16 slots. And then we've got the larger one here, we've got the Pottinger FARO 4010D for 15 slots. So that's actually 1 slot less than that one, interestingly. Double axle, slightly larger capacity again. So these 3 you will find under loading wagons. The Boss Alpine 251 is 30,500, requires 60 horsepower, 16,100 litre capacity. There are no options. You get the loading wagon. The EUROBOSS 330 DT, 45,000 to buy, 90 horsepower required, 20,500 litre capacity. And then the FARO 4010D, 70,500, 26,000 litre capacity and requires 130 horsepower to pull. All 3 of these will run at 12 miles per hour. Options on that one, we've got the option of Trelleborg or Michelin, but not sizes, just you can have Trelleborg or Michelin tread patterns if you wish. What we'll do is we'll grab the larger one, and hopefully I've got enough grass somewhere that we can... Oh, we'll do the hay. We've got a bit of hay we can pick up. So this is the larger of the 3. And this also does have the option to adjust depending on what you're towing with. So R1 and right stick up and down can raise and lower the trailer to get it level. So as it stands now, that's pretty much level. Turning it on starts everything moving, and then the pickup lowers like so. I might want to drop it down a little bit more, but that should still pick up fine. Now, loading wagons don't have to be used like this on a swath. You can actually put a front mower on your tractor and just mow and pick up as you go if you want to do it that way. So for a second, because we're going onto the grass. That is quite large. But this is the slightly newer design, much higher on the back section. Like a steeper angle. The front is more ergonomically designed, a little bit more rounded at the front. And then once we're done, when we get to wherever we're going, L1, R1, triangle to unload, and there we go. I tried to cover everything as quickly as I could. Apologies if I've skipped over a few things, if there was one particular piece of machinery you really wanted to see in operation. But like I say, the different categories of them being that with the mowers, the tedders, the windrowers, the loading wagons, when you've got multiple ones, in essence they all do the same job. But that's everything we've got as part of the pack. That's all the equipment. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.